Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. This is part 3 of my video. This called Saving a Man from Slavery. Yes, brothers and sisters, I want you all to read the letter of Willie Lynch. And I want to shout out to my brothers, man. This is no shot against you all because, you know, me putting you down and you putting me down is a sign of a weak man. You know, I love all my kings and queens. I just want you all to understand. I want you all to read that letter. You know what I'm saying? And see what we're doing. You know, we all, you know, when you call a woman a B or H, you know, my mother told me and my brother when we were children, when you disrespect our queens and put them in slavery, like, you know, being whores and all of this, what you're doing is calling your mother these products. And, you know, I'm not calling anybody mother, none of that, but what Willie Lynch said we was going to do to each other in the 1700s, you know, we're doing it right now. And that's a damn shame. That was the 1700s, this is 2025. Nothing is putting our women on the corner in slavery is not a sign of a man, you know. You know, like I said, they building these plantations, which is called prisons. You can't reproduce that way. You're killing off generations. And we killing our own off. The white man is guilty of a lot of things. I'm never going against my people. But right is right and wrong is wrong. I want you to think about this right now. We think about what I'm finna say. You know, we are products of our mother and father. When you did things wrong, your mother and father scolded you. They taught you right from wrong. You know, they're guilty of a lot of corruption, but when do we man up and quit blaming them? And you know what I'm saying? Be the man that our mothers and fathers raised us. You know, I was blessed to have two mothers, and I love them both the same. My biological and the woman that raised me, Dorothy Jean Bishop. You know, and I was blessed to have two brothers, Troy and Chubby. You know what I'm saying? But I just want you all to be mind conscious. You know, we have to start, like I said, building instead of destroying. You know, we need to quit glorifying putting our queens in slavery. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it ain't no shot at no brother. You know, forgive me for my parents. I got suits and all that. I got to get some dinner work, but that's not here. That don't define who I am as a king. You know, and I just wanted to leave that with you. Let's please read that Willie Lynch letter, and I also want you all to study the teachings. I used to follow them teachings. I was James X before I was Abdul-Malik of the Master Farad Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad, and Farrakhan. They would teach you how important a black woman is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, brothers, we got to stop this. You know, we got to stand up and be men and save our nation, brother. Just name one race where you see any race on this planet to get on TV, especially in America, and talk about making our women out of slaves, brother. Whores. Brother, ain't nothing slick about that. I'm not knocking the play of the game. Let's don't get it twisted. I'm just saying, read that letter, and you'll see where this ain't no shots at nobody. You know, and I want to give heads up to some gentlemen I grew up with in LA too. Kenny Winston and his uncle Eugene Ford. Kenny Winston, mother Dee Dee, also was my third mother. She raised me. You know what I'm saying? His sister Cherie, they got murdered, you know, while I was incarcerated. But I just want to share that love. And this is to Teresa Geldarlin. I want to let you know things was not like you thought they was. I love you. We're gonna fix this. And you know, I love you, Mary J. You still my queen, baby, my number one. Love y'all. Greet you. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.